A lady online shared a very sensitive story about her failed marriage, and I deem it fit to share it with you guys. So listen attentively and share your views afterwards. She wrote, and I read. I've been in about two serious relationships that didn't work out. In fact, I wasn't searching for any relationships when I met him. I just wanted to focus on my job and get more qualifications. We met through his sister, who is a senior colleague at work. It was her baby's christening, and we were there to celebrate. That's her baby naming ceremony. Myself and other office colleagues. That was when I met my husband. Very handsome and very clean man, well spoken and funny. He was behaving friendly with all of us that came from work, and it wasn't like he picked interest in me in particular. He was just nice to everyone, making sure we were served, well fed, and comfortable. I was wondering why a man would be so thoughtful concerning guests at parties. Well, he was nice. Some days after, I got a WhatsApp message from his sister, my senior colleague, asking if I liked her brother. I wondered, why not? And I said yes, that he's a good guy. She then said she would like for me to know him better and be a part of their family. Yes, she was that direct. She said she had been observing me for 2 years. I joined the company and she knows I'm a wife material and she'll be really happy to make me a part of their family. I guess she had also spoken to him because I got a call from him and we arranged a date. It was a beautiful evening. He was a perfect gentleman, so soft, so civil. We got talking and I liked him. He is very generous, got me tons of gifts, things I could never afford. He wasn't always around though. He traveled a lot for work, and whenever he's around, he preferred us going out than staying in. He never tried to kiss or touch me. He never talked about nekwe with me. Even the few times we hugged, I initiated it and it was brief. Well, I thought he was being civil and being a gentleman. In fact, I was happy he wasn't after my body. He was a sweet talker. He was a sweet talker, offered loads of compliments, but I'm not sure if he ever expressed love. Honestly, I can't remember him telling me he loved me, but he was always sending flowers, gifts, money, all sorts with complimenting words. So I guess I never noticed if he said he loved me. His actions showed it, or so I thought. Well, long story short, his whole family loved me. In fact, their own love was excess. His 3 sisters, his mom. Their dad is late. His family would send gifts to me. It was too good. They really wanted me in that family, and I felt lucky. He proposed on the vow day in the presence of his family, and I accepted. It was a diamond ring. I was the envy of my colleagues and friends. Immediately, I flooded my social media page with pictures, and I told my parents, of course, we did introduction. After 1 month, and began plans for our wedding. He was so open and transparent. I could use his phone whenever we were together. He wasn't around often, like I said, but he was always attentive to my concerns whenever we spoke on phone. We began preparation for wedding, and one thing I noticed is that he wasn't really keen about it. I asked his sister, and she said he is usually overwhelmed with preparations and parties, so I let him be. He sent me enough money to do whatever I wanted, and I really satisfied myself. I was excited getting married, but something in me felt I didn't know the man enough, but I felt lucky. I wanted to talk to you about it, ma, but I kept saying it's not that deep. That maybe it's just my fears. Maybe I should have even gotten your books or other books, ma. I just felt I don't need to complicate issues. I guess I was afraid a book might tell me he's not the right person. He was every girl's dream, and I wasn't sure I would get better. My church did the usual 2 weeks counseling for us, and we were wed amidst pomp and pageantry. It was a big wedding. I only realized he was dull and uninterested in most stuffs. I remembered his sister said he doesn't like parties, so I understood. On our wedding day at the church was the first time we kissed. All eyes were on us, so it was like a peck on the lips. On our wedding night at the hotel, he was at the lounge for so long with his friends, drinking. I was alone in the room waiting for my groom. I had changed into something salesy I bought for that night. I wanted us to have a good experience. I waited and started calling, but he ignored. He sent a message apologizing that he will be late as he was spending time with his friends and that I should sleep. It was strange, and it got me upset that he would rather spend time with his friends on our wedding night than with me, but I let it go. I was tired anyway, so I slept off. I woke up in the morning. I made breakfast by my side. He was up and dressed and told me he needed to be somewhere. I can't remember. I protested and told him we've not even spent time together. He apologized and told me he would be back soon. He came back late evening and his phone was off all day. I couldn't report to anyone. I mean, this is a new marriage. We didn't have honeymoon. He told me his company was in the middle of an impromptu project. he couldn't get away from. He was giving me all I wanted, but he would come home late, eat and sleep, telling me he's tired. For 2 weeks after our wedding, I had not kissed nor had mekwe with my own husband. I woke up one certain morning to find inside of me. I was confused because we didn't have any mekwe the night before. I couldn't remember anything of such. I didn't even know if to ask him, but I did. He said we had mekwe, but I was sleeping through it. Ha! Why didn't you wake me? Why would my first mekwe experience with you be like this? He said he woke me, but I was too deep in sleep and he was too horny. The whole explanation didn't make sense, but I didn't say anything. We only saw each other once in 2 weeks, and that once, he always wanted us to go out. I wanted us to spend time in the house, but no. Either cinema, visit a friend, or go shopping. He doesn't kiss or get intimate with me when I'm conscious. It's always when I'm sleeping. And I realized I sleep too deeply when he's around, and I would wake up to see him. This went on for a while, and I could not tell anyone. I decided to be proactive. I searched through his laptop bag and his traveling box, and I saw medicine that induces sleepiness. I remember he serves us juice and other meals when he's around. He is good with those kind of stuff. I never knew he was dreaming me to sleep. I was confused why he needed me to sleep before having mekwe with me. Was he a 2-minute man and was ashamed of it? I decided to play along when next he comes back from his trip. I would be smart as not to drink his juice. I wanted to know what went down whenever I slept. It happened. He brought juice and asun to the room. It's like a romantic tradition. Unknown to him, I have gotten another juice to replace the one he brought. I told him to help me get tissue from our toilet, so I exchanged the juice he brought and hid his own behind side stool. We ate and drank and talked, and I pretended to sleep. My husband took his phone, dialed a WhatsApp number on video call, our best man. He was like, Oboto. They were discussing mekwe on phone, like saying things to each other. It took a great deal of self-control for me to keep pretending. They said a lot that would make one cringe. I was paralyzed with shock. They were touching themselves and, doing soapy. When he released him, he released in his hands and opened my legs, and then went on to smear it in my private. Sis, he didn't even sleep beside me after. He slept in the second room. I never knew he doesn't sleep beside me. He only wakes up early and prepares breakfast in bed. I was mortified by what I had just experienced, and I didn't know how to begin to process my reality. My husband is a Gabriel. He trusts me. He isn't interested in having mekwe with me. I was actually really scared of confronting him. I pretended it was as usual till he went out to work. I called in sick at work and called my sister-in-law to come see me. She came after work and I told her my experience. She wasn't even surprised. She said she would call the rest of their family, so we would have a meeting that weekend. Hobby wasn't going to be around anyways. He was going on a trip as usual. I prayed for the weekend to come fast. I couldn't eat, drink, nor go out. I was broken. I couldn't tell my own family or friends. I wanted that weekend to come fast. I want to hear what this family wanted to say to me. Weekend came and we were all gathered at my mother-in-law's. They were begging me. They said they knew and he said he can't change. They wanted him to have kids at least, and he agreed after their mom threatened to buy herself if he didn't bear kids, as he was the only son. They didn't know he would resort to dreaming. They didn't know he couldn't even stand making love to a woman at least. That's what they said. All his family knew he wasn't into women. And here I was dancing like I won jackpot on my wedding day. I was very angry with my senior colleague who felt I deserved such. Very angry with his mom who has daughters but felt another person's daughter deserved such cruelty. They said they would understand if I wanted a divorce, but I should please let everything be done quietly, and we should not tell people the truth of the divorce. I left that house in tears. On my way, I was credited with over 5 million from my mother-in-law. I took the next flight to see my parents because they lived in Lagos while we were in Abuja. I explained all that had happened. I won't bore you with the back and forth, but I'm now divorced. Bride price returned. I didn't return the 5 million. I took it. I deserve it for being lied to and deceived. I'm not actually mad at him. I was the dumb one. The signs were there. He wasn't mequely attracted to me. Able-bodied man, yet no kissing or touching. He never professed love to me. He wasn't excited about wedding. I should have done my due diligence. I guess I got carried away. I just needed to let this off my chest, man. Perhaps it's worth learning from. I don't work in that company anymore. I resigned, and with the influence of my ex-mother-in-law, I got another job. It was the least they could do.